Video from my August 23rd, 2014 dive to Scripps Canyon. My pre-planned dive buddy had an unexpected travel emergency, and so I had to pair up with somebody on the boat. Fortunately, I was able to find a very kind couple, a Bill and Laura, who were doing a Tech 50 checkout dive. And for those of my metrically declined friends, Tech 50 means 50 meters, means 165 feet. As you can see from this chart, she made it. I really have to commend Captain Laura and the crew of the Marissa for landing us exactly where we needed to be. There was the boat anchor, and there was the entrance to this little tributary canyon that led to the main ravine. This is the ledge of that tributary canyon. The inside of it was filled with seagrass that was mostly dead. There were also larger fish inside the small tributary. There were sheep's head, things of that nature. The very lip of this tributary, as you can see, is about 140 feet. Once you're out of the tributary, you have the option of making a left or a right. We made a left on the first dive, and the wall, while covered, is not quite as lively as it is on the other side. What's kind of interesting about Scripps Canyon is there are all these little nooks and crannies where life grows. There's anemones and various nudibranches all over the place, and you really have to stop and take your time and look, and you'll find them. And here's proof that we made it to 165. Here's a more up-close view of the canyon wall. You can see all the growth of the various microorganisms. There's a series of ledges all throughout the dive, and at this point the canyon goes as deep as you want it to go. Here you can see one of the ledges, and all the little nooks and crannies for creatures to live in. On our second dive, I was able to take more time and really focus trying to find macro life. I came across two distinct species of nudibranches that I had yet to video, so I consider that to be a success. Here you can see just how deep some of these ledges run. They form little plateaus. There are some areas, though, where the wall is completely vertical. This little fellow is a wartneck pittock. I saw him on the sandy slope as I exited the tributary canyon. Here's the anchor chain with everybody lined up from the boat doing their deco stops. This is the profile from the second dive. We hooked a right this time. We didn't go as long, nor did we go as deep. We maxed out at about 150 feet on this dive. And overall, it was quite enjoyable. This is the beginning of the second dive. You saw the anchor earlier. There was a rope that was leading down the little tributary canyon, and so we ran a reel from the anchor to the little rope. You can see the walls of this tributary canyon are not nearly as full of life as in the main canyon itself. They don't have quite the nooks and crannies that the other canyon has. Even this is at 92 feet. This is actually a boulder that's wedged in a very large crack. You could do a swim through by swimming behind the boulder, down, and then out the bottom. I did that, but the video didn't come out well. These little guys are known as Chromodoros mcfarlandi. You can tell that it's the McFarlandi by the 3 golden stripes on them. There's another subspecies that's very similar but only has 2 stripes. Here's another up close of the McFarlandi. You can see the rhinophores in the front, which are the way it smells. I'm not quite sure what this little guy is. I think it's in the Catalina family. It's also a nudibranch. While we were down investigating the trench, this little McFarlandi decided to crawl on our anchor.